After 60, many seniors feel their bodies slowing down. The tired afternoons, the restless nights, the sudden weight around the belly. These aren't just getting older. They're signals of deeper changes in insulin, inflammation, and sleep hormones. The good news? Certain foods with no carbs and no sugar can ease these changes, giving back energy, clarity, and balance. And in today's video, we'll uncover 12 of the most powerful ones, foods that research shows may support healthier blood sugar, sharper memory, and stronger independence. I've seen so many patients who thought fatigue and stiffness were just part of aging, but science tells us otherwise. After 60, your body doesn't need less nutrition. It actually needs smarter fuel. Foods that work with, not against, the changes in your metabolism. Now, before we dive in, remember, this is for education only, not medical advice. Always check with your healthcare team before making changes. With that said, let's explore 12 no-carb, no-sugar foods that may help you feel lighter, clearer, and more resilient, without sacrificing flavor or joy. 1. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula. After 60, many seniors notice something frustrating. Eating the same meals they enjoyed years ago now leaves them feeling heavier, more tired, or foggy. Rosa, a 68-year-old retired teacher, once relied on sandwiches for lunch. But after swapping the bread for a bowl of spinach and arugula topped with olive oil, she told me her afternoons felt lighter and steadier. It was almost as if a weight had been lifted from inside her body. There is a biological reason for that. With age, insulin, the hormone that helps your body move sugar out of the blood and into cells, becomes less effective. It is almost like a rusty lock that no longer fits its key. Leafy greens do not add to the sugar burden. Instead, they may help clean up the system by providing magnesium and polyphenols that support insulin sensitivity. Research from the long-running Nurses' Health Study found that seniors who ate more vegetables had a significantly greater chance of reaching older age without chronic disease or cognitive decline. Leafy greens are also anti-inflammatory powerhouses. They lower levels of CRP, an inflammatory marker that rises 2 to 4 times in older adults. Think of CRP like a fire alarm that keeps ringing even when there is no fire. Leafy greens act like the skilled technician who finally turns that alarm off, giving your body a break from constant stress. For daily use, aim for 1 cup raw or half a cup cooked. Rotate spinach, kale, and arugula so your body gets a variety of nutrients. Pair them with a drizzle of olive oil to help your body absorb vitamins A and K. Quick reflection. Hey, have you noticed your energy dip after bread or pasta lunches? Imagine instead how steady afternoons might feel if your plate carried a pile of fresh greens. And here is what most seniors miss. These leafy foods do not just stabilize sugar, they quietly feed the good bacteria in your gut. And what happens when your gut thrives? We will get to that soon. 2. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel. Robert, 72, once told me he felt his mind was slipping during conversations with his granddaughter. He often lost words mid-sentence. At first, he thought it was just age. But when he began adding salmon to his dinners 3 nights a week, something shifted. Within weeks, his daughter noticed he was more present, sharper, and even playful again at the dinner table. Science shows us why. Fatty fish is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA. These compounds support the brain's cell membranes, making them more flexible and efficient at sending signals. Think of omega-3s as fresh oil for the brain's engine. Without enough, the gears grind slowly. But with the right fuel, everything runs smoothly. Research published in Nutrients, 2020, examined older adults following Mediterranean-style diets. Those who included regular servings of fatty fish had lower levels of inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein and interleukin-6. Lower inflammation is not just good for the heart, It also protects brain pathways connected to memory and focus. For practical use, aim for 3 to 4 ounces of salmon, sardines, or mackerel about 3 times per week. If fish is not always available, a high-quality fish oil supplement providing 2 to 3 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily is another option. Pause here for a moment. When was the last time you felt fully clear-headed after a meal? Fatty fish may help create that clarity again. And the benefits go beyond sharper memory. They extend to calmer joints, stronger arteries, and steadier moods. But there is another everyday food that works just as powerfully on both the brain and the muscles. We will explore it next. 3. Eggs. Mary, 70, came to me worried about her memory. She often misplaced her keys and felt embarrassed forgetting neighbors' names. She had avoided eggs for years, believing they were bad for the heart. When she gently reintroduced one boiled egg with breakfast most mornings, she was surprised. Within weeks, she said her thoughts felt sharper, and she no longer hesitated in mid-sentence. Eggs are more than protein. They are one of the richest natural sources of choline, a nutrient the brain uses to make acetylcholine, the messenger for memory and focus. Think of choline as the ink in your brain's pen. Without enough, memories fade on the page. With it, the words return clearly. Research from the Nurses' Health Study followed over 47,000 participants and found that seniors with higher choline intake performed up to 40% better on cognitive tasks. Protein in eggs also plays a key role. After 60, muscle naturally declines, but distributing protein evenly across meals helps preserve strength. 1 to 2 eggs can provide 6 to 12 grams of high-quality protein, supporting both memory and mobility. For practical use, enjoy 1 or 2 eggs daily. Boil, poach, or scramble them gently in olive oil. Pairing eggs with vegetables or avocado boosts nutrient absorption. Avoid heavy frying, which adds extra fats that may not serve aging metabolism. Reflection time. Have you noticed your memory slipping? Or mornings when energy feels low? A simple egg may be a gentle support, nourishing both body and mind. And here is what most seniors never hear. This familiar food, long feared, can be a quiet ally for sharper thinking and stronger muscles. But the next group of foods goes even further, protecting both the gut and the heart. 4. Nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, chia, flax. James, 65, used to keep a jar of cookies by his recliner. They gave me quick comfort, he said, but then I'd crash and need a nap. When he replaced that habit with a handful of walnuts in the afternoon, the crashes disappeared. Instead of feeling sluggish, he noticed steady energy carrying him through his evening walks. The science behind this is clear. Nuts and seeds provide healthy fats, fiber, and plant compounds that stabilize blood sugar and calm inflammation. They release energy slowly, unlike refined snacks that spike insulin. Imagine your bloodstream like a highway. Cookies dump cars onto it all at once, causing a traffic jam. Nuts let cars merge smoothly, keeping everything moving with balance. A 2021 review in Clinical Nutrition showed that seniors following plant-rich patterns, including nuts and seeds, had 30% lower oxidative stress markers and better antioxidant defenses. This means their cells were better protected against daily wear and tear, a silent factor in aging. For practical use, enjoy a small handful daily, about 1 ounce. Rotate almonds, walnuts, chia, and flax. Walnuts support brain health, chia seeds add omega-3s, and almonds provide vitamin E, which helps protect memory. Choose raw or lightly roasted versions without added sugar or salt. Sprinkle seeds on salads or stir them into yogurt for a gentle boost. Take a pause here. Do you notice afternoon fatigue or sugar cravings? Replacing just one snack with nuts could shift that pattern within days. And here is where it gets even more interesting. These tiny foods are not just energy stabilizers. They are also quiet guardians of gut health, feeding beneficial bacteria. And the next food on our list adds another layer, directly supporting vascular strength and brain clarity. 5. Avocados. Elena, 73, once loved sweet spreads on toast each morning, but her doctor warned about rising blood pressure. She decided to replace jam with mashed avocado and a squeeze of lemon. A few months later, her readings had steadied, and she said she felt lighter in both body and spirit. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats and potassium. These nutrients relax blood vessels, supporting circulation and heart rhythm. Think of your arteries like narrow garden hoses. With age, they stiffen and clog. Avocado's fats smooth the lining, while potassium eases the pressure, allowing blood to flow more freely. In Mediterranean diet studies, older adults who consumed higher amounts of healthy fats, including those from avocados, showed improved memory and reduced inflammation. These benefits are especially important after 60, when inflammation and vascular stiffness often accelerate. For daily practice, half an avocado is a great portion. Slice it over salads, blend into smoothies, or spread on whole grain crackers instead of sugary toppings. Pairing avocado with vegetables helps the body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. For those on blood pressure medications, monitor potassium levels and consult your doctor, since avocado is naturally potassium-rich. Now, pause a moment. How often do you wake with stiff joints or a heavy head? Picture instead a smoother flow through your body, like oil keeping an engine running quietly. That is the gentle effect avocados may bring. Yet there is another healthy fat that works hand in hand with avocado, one long called liquid gold. And in just a moment, we will talk about olive oil and why it may polish your arteries even further. 6. Olive oil. Bill, 69, used to complain about stiffness each morning. His wife suggested he try swapping butter for olive oil on his salads and vegetables. After a few weeks, he told me his joints felt easier, and he no longer dreaded his morning walks. Olive oil is more than a kitchen staple. It contains polyphenols, powerful plant compounds that calm inflammation and protect arteries from oxidative stress. Imagine your blood vessels like old copper pipes. With time, they gather rust and slow the flow. Olive oil works like a gentle polish, keeping those pipes clear and flexible so circulation runs smoothly. A randomized trial published in Nutrition and Metabolism found that seniors who consume 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil daily improved their artery function significantly. Research also shows olive oil can help raise HDL cholesterol, often called the good cholesterol, which supports heart health after 60. For practical use, aim for 2 to 3 tablespoons each day. Use it raw on salads, drizzle over cooked vegetables, or mix into soups after cooking. Choose extra virgin olive oil, stored in a dark glass bottle, to protect its nutrients. Avoid high-heat frying, which damages the delicate compounds. Reflection time. How would it feel to move through your day without creaky joints or worry about your heart? A simple drizzle of olive oil may help your body feel smoother inside and out. And here is something many forget. Olive oil does not stand alone. Another food, often aged and rich in flavor, brings its own strength to bones and gut health. We will explore aged cheese next. 7. Aged cheese Rosa, whom we met earlier, had always avoided cheese because she thought it was too heavy. But when she added a sprinkle of Parmesan over her vegetables, she noticed something surprising. Not only did her meals taste better, but her doctor later told her that her bone density scans looked steadier than the year before. Aged cheese offers more than flavor. It provides calcium and vitamin K2, both important for bone strength and vascular health. After 60, bones naturally thin and arteries stiffen. Think of vitamin K2 as a traffic officer, directing calcium to the bones where it belongs, rather than letting it clog the arteries. This balance is key for seniors aiming to maintain mobility and independence. European nutrition guidelines emphasize that adults over 70 require higher intakes of calcium and vitamin D to reduce fracture risk. Aged cheeses like Parmesan, cheddar, or Gouda are also easier to digest than fresh varieties because aging breaks down lactose, making them gentler on the stomach. For daily practice, aim for about 1 ounce of aged cheese. Use it grated over vegetables, added to an omelet, or as a small snack with raw nuts. Pairing cheese with fiber-rich foods like leafy greens may further support digestion and nutrient absorption. Pause and reflect. Have you ever worried about losing strength in your legs or the risk of fractures? Imagine giving your bones small reinforcements every day, like adding bricks to a strong wall. Aged cheese may quietly provide that support. And yet, its role does not end with bones. It also nourishes gut health in ways many seniors overlook. The next food, non-starchy vegetables, brings that connection to life even more clearly. 8. Non-starchy vegetables: broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini. Harold, 74, once told me he felt bloated and sluggish after most meals. When he doubled his servings of broccoli and zucchini at dinner, something shifted. Within weeks, his digestion felt smoother, and his afternoon heaviness eased. His wife noticed he even walked with more energy on their evening strolls. The reason is simple biology. Non-starchy vegetables are rich in fiber that feeds the good bacteria in your gut. A healthy microbiome helps regulate blood sugar and supports immune balance. Picture your intestines like long hallways. Over time, dust builds up and slows the air. Fiber acts like a broom, sweeping clean those hallways and letting your body breathe easier from the inside out. A large cross-sectional study of more than 6,400 older adults in China found that seniors who followed a low-carbohydrate eating pattern with plenty of non-starchy vegetables had 27% lower odds of frailty. That means they maintained strength and independence longer compared with those who ate fewer vegetables. For practical use, aim for 2 cups daily of broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, or similar options. Steam, roast, or stir-fry them lightly in olive oil to preserve nutrients. Pairing with herbs or spices can make the flavors even more enjoyable while adding anti-inflammatory benefits. Now take a moment. Have you noticed days when your stomach feels heavy or unsettled? Imagine instead meals that leave you light, steady, and ready to move. Non-starchy vegetables may offer that shift. And here's something most people forget. These vegetables are not only good for digestion, they set the stage for powerful allies like herbs and spices, which add both healing compounds and flavor, and that is where we are heading next. 9. Herbs and spices: turmeric, rosemary, cinnamon. Anne, 70, loved her morning coffee, but often felt her sugar spike and crash within an hour. When she began sprinkling a bit of cinnamon into her cup, she told me her mornings felt steadier, without the sudden drop in energy. Herbs and spices may seem like small additions, but they carry powerful compounds that influence blood sugar and inflammation. Turmeric, for example, contains curcumin, which helps quiet inflammatory pathways that often stay switched on in older adults. Think of inflammation like a fire alarm that never stops ringing. These spices act like the technician who finally calms the alarm, restoring peace inside the body. A series of clinical trials have shown that turmeric can lower markers such as C-reactive protein and tumor necrosis factor alpha. Cinnamon supports insulin signaling, making your cells more responsive to glucose. Rosemary adds antioxidant compounds that protect memory and circulation. Together, they work as a natural medicine cabinet built right into your spice rack. For daily use, add a pinch of cinnamon to coffee or tea, stir turmeric into warm soups or eggs, and season vegetables with rosemary. Even small, regular amounts may bring benefits when combined with a balanced diet. Pause for a moment. Do your meals feel bland or predictable? Imagine each sprinkle of spice as not just flavor, but fuel for resilience. Many seniors overlook this step, yet these tiny additions may help protect memory, stabilize sugar, and calm the body. And while herbs and spices add protection, they work even better when the gut itself is thriving. That brings us to the next food, fermented favorites, which rebuild the inner garden of your digestion. 10. Fermented foods: yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi. Louis, 67, often battled bloating after dinner. He thought it was just part of getting older, but when his daughter encouraged him to try a spoonful of sauerkraut with his meals, he was surprised. Within weeks, he told me his stomach felt calmer, and he no longer dreaded the heaviness that used to follow dinner. The science behind this is compelling. Fermented foods introduce beneficial bacteria back into the gut, helping restore balance where aging often causes decline. After 60, levels of helpful strains like bifidobacteria drop, while less friendly bacteria increase. This imbalance weakens digestion and can even affect mood and immunity. Picture your gut like a garden. Over time, weeds grow while flowers fade. Fermented foods act like planting new seeds, helping the flowers return and making the soil rich again. A meta-analysis on older adults found that fermented foods boosted production of short-chain fatty acids, important compounds that nourish the gut lining and support overall health. These changes may ease digestion, reduce inflammation, and even improve sleep quality through better gut-brain signaling. For practical use, include a small serving daily. Choose plain yogurt without added sugar. Add a tablespoon of sauerkraut or kimchi to lunch, or sip a small glass of kefir. Start slowly, since too much at once can upset sensitive digestion. Now, pause here. Do you often feel discomfort or bloating after meals? Imagine instead a calm stomach, steady energy, and better rest at night. Fermented foods may gently guide your body in that direction, but gut repair is only part of the story. The next food works deeper, supporting not only digestion, but also joints, skin, and even sleep. Let's talk about bone broth. 11. Bone broth. Patricia, 71, often told me her knees ached each time she stood up from her favorite chair. She tried creams and pills, but nothing gave lasting relief. When she began sipping a warm cup of homemade bone broth each evening, she noticed something different. Over the next month, she told me her joints felt freer, and she even looked forward to her evening walks again. Bone broth is rich in collagen and amino acids like glycine and proline. These nutrients support the repair of joint tissue, skin, and even the lining of the gut. Picture collagen as glue filling in cracks on an old wall. As we age, the cracks widen, and without repair, the structure weakens. Collagen helps seal those gaps, giving the body a stronger foundation. Studies have shown that collagen supplementation can improve joint comfort and mobility in both animal and human trials. Some research also suggests that amino acids from broth may support deeper sleep by calming the nervous system, a benefit many seniors long for. For daily use, enjoy one warm cup of bone broth. You can sip it plain or use it as a base for soups and stews. Homemade broth, simmered from chicken or beef bones for several hours, contains the richest supply of collagen. Store-bought versions are convenient, but look for low-sodium and preservative-free options. Pause and reflect. How often do your joints remind you of every step you take? Imagine those same steps feeling smoother, with less noise and strain. Bone broth may be a gentle ally for that. And while broth repairs and soothes, there is one final food that holds concentrated power for energy, memory, and vitality. Organ meats. 12. Organ meats, liver, heart. Edward, 70, once told me he felt drained even after a full night's sleep. He avoided organ meats for decades, thinking they were old-fashioned and unhealthy. But when his daughter prepared a small serving of sautéed beef liver once a week, something shifted. Within a month, Edward said his energy returned, and he no longer nodded off during afternoon conversations. Organ meats may be less common today, yet they are among the most nutrient-rich foods available. Liver, for example, is packed with vitamin B12, iron, and choline, nutrients essential for red blood cell production, memory, and energy. Heart meat provides CoQ10, a compound that fuels mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses inside each cell. Think of mitochondria as engines. With age, these engines sputter, producing less energy and more exhaust. CoQ10 works like premium fuel, helping engines run cleaner and stronger. Research shows that seniors on statin medications often have depleted CoQ10 levels. Organ meats naturally restore what these drugs lower. Studies also link adequate B12 to lower risks of cognitive decline, a concern that grows after 60. For practical use, include small portions once a week. A few ounces of sautéed chicken liver, beef liver, or heart can provide a concentrated boost. Pair organ meats with onions, herbs, or a squeeze of lemon to balance the flavor. Pause for a moment. Do you remember days when energy carried you from morning to evening without pause? Imagine reclaiming that rhythm with the help of foods our grandparents once ate regularly. Organ meats may quietly bring back that vitality. And with this final food, we complete the circle of 12 no-carb, no-sugar allies for healthier aging. Aging after 60 does not mean shrinking your life. It means finding foods that help you stay present, steady, and strong for the years ahead. Each of the 12 no-carb, no-sugar foods we explored today, leafy greens, fatty fish, eggs, nuts, avocados, olive oil, aged cheese, non-starchy vegetables, herbs, fermented foods, bone broth, and organ meats, offer something unique. Together, they may support clearer memory, smoother movement, calmer digestion, and brighter mornings. Now, pause for a moment. Picture yourself sharing a meal with family, feeling alert, comfortable, and light. That image is not far away. It begins with small daily choices, one plate at a time. Of course, always discuss dietary changes with your healthcare team, especially if you take medications. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 12 foods feels easiest for you to add this week? Share in the comments. Your story may inspire another senior who is searching for the same hope. And if this video gave you a new idea, a gentle like helps us reach more people who need it. Subscribe if you'd like to join me tomorrow when we'll talk about 3 morning drinks that heal joints after 60. Maybe tonight, when you prepare dinner, you could add one of these foods to your plate. Imagine how it might feel to greet tomorrow with more strength and less strain. Whisper to yourself, I'm still here and I'm still growing.